excited for the tour?
Oh my God. Dude, thank you for having me, for putting this together, for the whole thing, man. This is
Dude, I'm a massive
this
fan.
is insane.
No,
It's
man,
insane, dude. This is like,
Are you excited for the tour?
oh my God. I mean, dude, literally,
By the way, thank you.
Yeah, hey.
Because we know that you guys have been, like you especially, that you've been really, really busy.
Yeah, we've been cooking. Been cooking for a long time now. But man, I mean, this has been top of our list of tours we've wanted to do for years now, for so long. You know, I remember meeting Zach. He came out and saw us.
When did you meet Zach?
However long ago, he came out and saw us in Nashville, and you know, it was a smaller show. It was probably I mean, it feels like 2 or 3 years ago. Realistically, it was probably 7 years ago now.
Okay.
And he came out, and he was just the best. He was super rad, super kind. You know, came watch the show. And then I don't know.
He's our
you know,
peacock. He likes to just fly around and just insert himself.
Sure.
Because people are always just like, oh yeah, I saw Zach last night. I'm like, you did?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he's in New Orleans, then he was in Nashville, then he was in Paris.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Dude, it's so funny. And I got a text from Zach that was
Yeah.
literally one of the coolest things I ever received. And even the way I had to respond, I felt so
He started talking to
bizarre.
me. He started talking to me and Eric and Barry literally 2 years ago, saying, I don't care what we have to do.
Yeah.
I want to do something with Beartooth, no matter what. He's just such a genuine fan of what you do.
Oh, wow.
These 10 shows are for us too, we've become admirers of your work, and we're just really honored that you're going to come out and do it with us.
I mean, dude, it is truly an honor, to be able to do this with y'all. It's just unbelievable, man. But I remember getting that text from Zach, and he was just like, hey, dude, I don't know what your year's looking like, but we'd love to take you out. Mm-hmm. Just open-ended to you. What do you want to do? What can you do? Anything you want to do, basically.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of dumbfounded.
Everybody that's on that stage, doesn't matter who's in what position, there should be, you want there to be a genuine camaraderie.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what's important to us, and that's what we're trying to do. We're very, very fortunate that we've been able to tour with some incredible artists, but we're always looking to expand and work with different people.
Yeah.
So this, for us, these 10 shows, I'm the most excited to be able to walk out there and watch your set each night before we go up too, just because I'm a fan of the music and I haven't really a chance to see it live. So the fact that I get, a front row seat, I'm just stoked to watch you.
Something of this size, there are also just so many moving parts. I mean,
Yeah.
we're doing big arenas, and
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all's production, as always, is just going to be absolutely batshit and amazing. So for you to just literally call me and say, put on the Beartooth show.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, as obviously within reason of getting it up and getting it off. And that's so freeing. I just feel fucking honored. I feel so honored. I feel so empowered. I feel so this is what it's all about, man. And to have wanted to support your band for so fucking long, to then play that first festival we did together, to see how your crew was and how everybody was so accommodating to us and so cool. And even watching y'all just hugging and getting stoked before the show, I was like, this seems like a really, really healthy and amazing operation. And then to just get it firsthand, dude.
It's supposed to be fun.
It's really hard for me to process.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this, just from my being, an outsider looking inward, there is only one Beartooth and there's only one Caleb. You're unapologetically you. And it's amazing to watch you lean into who you are and what you represent, and that's why your fan base is growing. That's why your music is powerful, and it's influencing people, and it's making people's lives better because you're giving them confidence in this sound that you've created. So, dude, keep doing what you're doing because you're kicking ass.
Well, I appreciate that a lot, man.
For real.
I mean, truly, I don't even know. I don't have any words. Sorry, I'm kind of emotional. It's these are just those fucking pinch me moments, man. I feel so blessed that I am more present in my life and in my daily life than I was a few years ago. Because a moment like that, thank you for the kind words.
Yeah, man.
truly. And like I definitely do not take you as a bullshitter, so it means the fucking world,
Thanks.
man. And like, I don't know, these are just those times that I'm not sure if life is real life or not. But all I know is like it gives me a little more hope to keep following my compass and to keep doing what I'm doing and believing in what I'm doing. And it's a fucking honor. It is an honor to be able to play to y'all's crowd on this tour, to be able
And
to
for us to be
sit
able to play in
down.
front of your crowd too, man.
But dude, you guys just come out fucking bat out of hell, guns blazing, just like laying down the law, song after song after song after song. Like your voice is just so strong for so long. I'm just curious, kind
On a
of
good
like,
night.
well, I'm just curious of what your kind of like road to get there has been.
This industry is never going to stop evolving. And when I say the industry, I'm talking about like the touring industry.
For sure.
It's super competitive, and you know, you've got artists too that are doing a lot of grassroots style things. You've got a lot of like legacy acts that are doing some of the biggest shows of their career.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're not only that, but I think that also society in general, from a global standpoint, it used to be built around a genre or a format or a style of music, but you see not only bands but other solo artists just being a lot more open to the idea of like bending genres and trying different styles and just evolving as musicians and really songwriters. So part of that is there's a school of thought where it's like, well, stay in your lane, and then there's a new school of thought which is like, okay, I understand that I can go down this lane, but I'd like to try this one and this one and this one, because I think the dynamic is, how do you grow your audience? And like a band like yourself and what you guys bring to the table, would our fans be necessarily aware of you? Maybe, but maybe not. So it's like, who are the people that we want to work with to introduce them to you? And then hopefully your fans are like, well, I don't really know a lot about Shinedown, and we're also working, you know, we're going out with Morgan Wade, and that's a whole different style that, you know, I've just looked at it from the mindset of the further out you are with the people that you want to tour with, like, let them know this is kind of what we're thinking, but this is supposed to be mutual, and you know, it's supposed to be fun.
To us, and I clearly to you, it is very important that these people know that we are giving them every fucking dollar's worth. Like literally everything we can give them when they get in there, from the production, the experience, the whole 9 yards. The only way this is gonna work, and this is really gonna give people their money's worth, is if everything is fucking calculated. Like, we know all of the movement. It's got to be like Broadway. It's got to just be fucking locked in. And this was kind of the approach that I took to creating the show and creating the moments and all of that. Is, okay, we need to start doing some like magic tricks. We need to start doing some you know what I mean? Like, just all that kind of stuff that you have seen in these shows and you don't realize how it works. And then
I love that you say magic tricks.
Oh, totally, dude.
I love it,
There's
man.
so much magic to it, you
that's
know?
awesome.
Like getting out to the B stage. Making sure that the B stage moment is intimate and surprising and whatever. And then how do I get back to the stage?
Why not?
You know, at the beginning it almost felt daunting, and it almost felt like, I'm like, am I just doing something wrong? Like, we're a rock band. Like we come from kind of like,
but there shouldn't be any rules.
Right. And we've always just played the ring it and wing it show, where it's go up, fucking ring out. Okay, here's this song, and then we just melt your face for however long, and then we get out of there. So then I just kind of started dreaming up what's the stage? What do I want to see if we were doing this in a stadium? You know, because like the club show was like, let's do the arena show. The arena show is like, let's do like the stadium show, basically. Yeah, you know, we played that festival together.
The Parkway Drive that blew all of us off the.
Oh my God!
Like, I'm
literally,
sorry.
we're
like,
both
I mean,
standing
you guys
on the
were
side
fantastic.
of the stage.
We were okay, but I think that they pretty much just leveled the Parkway Drive leveled the playing field.
That was it.
You learn a lot from legacy acts, what to do and what not to do, you know, as you're kind of coming up. Iron Maiden for us was one of those bands that we got an opportunity to tour with them as main support in 2017. We did 42 shows with them in Europe and the UK.
Oh my God.
Those guys could not have been nicer. And those guys, the crew that they got a lot of lifers. So people that have been with them for like 30 years.
Dude.
Their crew, meticulous, thoughtful, extremely accommodating and helpful, but like there is a hierarchy to it, and you kind of learn how to be respectful of that. But you know, I always look at it from anybody that's touring now, and if you have the audience, remember to be respectful. Like if it's a co-headline, if it's a headline, you're all still sharing the same stage, and there's a way to be respectful to everyone because you want the audience to have the best experience possible. And I just remember from Maiden, these guys don't need us.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't, like, they're doing, I mean, literally our average.
Holy shit.
I mean,
that is so rad, by the way.
Yeah,
But
I mean, our
it's fucking Maiden. Like, it's huge.
And man, the thing that was crazy was that they were doing what they call intimate shows, which their intimate shows are about 30,000 people a night. That's intimate, you know? So
they are so far in another fucking dimension. It's so rad.
Wild.
Man.
You know? But the other thing too is, you know, they brought us out there, I believe also because they dug what we were doing at the time.
Yeah.
And I think that they understood, like, we're Maiden and you know what kind of a hammer we're bringing. But also, there's an idea to that where the audience is also, there's a respect there too. You got to prove it.
True.
But like, you have to go, okay, this audience, they're going to let you in the building because Maiden wanted you here, but then you just have to be yourself and like, you got to work for it.
Period.
So it was always interesting to see like the front row like this, and I understand why.
Yeah.
But then as the tour would progress, I kind of, being a front man and you being a front man, you still have to bring your own hammer.
For us, I think about Slipknot. One of the first bigger tours we did. We supported.
Did you tour Slipknot?
Yeah, we supported Slipknot.
Blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, as you
I
know,
didn't know that.
Yeah, Beartooth supported Slipknot in 2015. And
oh my God, really?
Yeah. So we were opening the show, and you want to talk about like learning trial by fire, how to get thrown into the deep end of like, not only does this crowd not know who you are, but they're there to see Slipknot.
Yeah.
They know what that show is going to bring,
Yeah.
and like, it's just different. It's different than
I
being
mean, I've
a
opened
small...
up for Guar, so
right, exactly. Like you
that's
get
the
it.
only
You
thing
get
I
it.
can-
It's
I
like
can
it's very
equate it
different.
to.
Yeah, it's very different from, you know, in the younger years when you're playing small clubs and every show's fucking nuts and it's easy, you know, and you go up and it's just how we doing. The place goes nuts and yada yada. You know, opening that tour, it's like we're playing in arenas to people that have never even heard of us, and we're playing, you know, an hour after doors to maybe like the place is a third full on the first song, and then, you know, by the end it's pretty good, but but literally having to learn how to respectfully show this crowd.
Yeah.
We are only here to play you our songs. We're not trying to like take away from Slipknot. We're not trying to take away from your experience.
Right.
Like if you're there just with like a beer and, you know, some nachos and you just want to sit and watch, like great. And that was the first time that I had to kind of figure that out.
Yeah.
And so all these things happened on that tour, you know. I kind of learned how to respectfully approach somebody else's crowd for like a diehard band, you know. It is just on such a different scale than almost any other like rock and metal shows that I have seen. You're one of them, and Jacoby is one of them as well. But like
he's my bar.
That band,
that dude is a monster.
That band is our benchmark as a band.
That
they are our. This band.
If everybody wants to know what's necessary in life, Jacoby Shaddix is necessary. Papa Roach is necessary.
Yes, they set the bar for how to age as a band and continue to only go harder and only get better.
Definitely.
Like it's almost like it defies physics how absolutely nuts they still go and only go crazier.
And he's had to rehabilitate. I think he's had 2 surgeries, vocal surgeries. But he sounds better now than he ever has.
Yes, exactly.
You know, I don't have any idea like what my vocal range is per se. Like I know how sometimes people talk about octaves and all these different things. I'm not taught. I'm not trained. Like my teachers are Nina Simone, Ella Fitzgerald, Chris Cornell, Axl Rose, you know, Marvin Gaye, you know, those are, you know, Amy Winehouse, like those are my teachers.
Absolutely.
You know,
great teachers.
Yeah, man, you know.
I'm telling you, it's like I speak music better than I speak English, and I'm not very well versed in music theory, but it's just I understand it in my bones and in my soul. I'm just kind of curious a little bit of your road to getting to the point where you're comfortable going up for 90 minutes, 2 hours, and you just know you can put the fucking pedal down that whole time, and it's gonna be all right.
Well, the thing about it is, for me, just, doing it for, I would say professionally doing it for 2 decades now. Like, I've been in the industry for 25 years professionally, but like, as far as like touring, I think that once you pass the 60-minute mark, so like we were talking about, like when you're opening up 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then you get to kind of, the main slot before the headliner, you've got 60 minutes. That's when things start to change. And then you get to an hour and a half, and then you get to 2 hours plus. Now, I'll be totally upfront about it. Like, we don't play like in that 3-hour sphere, even with 7 albums, and we have our 8th record's going to be coming out later this year. But
It's a lot of rock. It's a lot of this. 3 hours of that is a lot.
It's a lot.
The whole point of this band's live show is to provide a place for people to feel or not feel or just get away from their shit for a few hours and give you a place to, like, it's almost like meditation where it's like shutting off a part of your brain so you can kind of almost like work on stuff in your life without you even really knowing it. And I think that rock is such an incredible place for like profound release, in your life, and like a rock show specifically.
Yeah. When I think of like band names, I have to say this. Beartooth is one of the most, like, that is a strong name. The cool thing is that there's a lot of imagery to Beartooth, but where did it come from?
Dude, so our original bass player, Nick Reed, who's still, like, I love to the absolute end of the earth, one of my favorite people. He grew up on Beartooth Court. And so originally...
So this is a street name?
So it is. It's a street name. It was 2 words. We put the words together. But so originally...
That's the same thing with Shinedown. We put 2 words together. We were like, this looks weird separated.
Right. And also, when you Google it, it's like you either get the band or Beartooth Pass, which is like, there's like a big Harley. It's like a very famous road.
Oh,
and
really?
There's like a meetup or something on like Beartooth Pass. But... yeah, that's it, man.
There's not just like a bear's tooth that pops up on Google. Like,
no, dude, it literally is
it's either.
Yeah, it's pretty much just us
it's you all. Like, we'll just make sure that Google, like, the number one thing that pops up is the band, just so everybody knows.
Yes. And so I make a few songs. I just realized, I'm like, you know what? This is like what I gotta do. I have to make this into something.
Yeah.
Then once the songs went out there, and it was as if because Beartooth is the most raw, real material that I can possibly produce as a musician. And that's what's terrifying about it, is like they are literally getting every bit of my heart on my sleeve.
All right, there's a difference between being a singer, a performer, and a frontman or a frontwoman.
Yeah. Totally.
Like, they're 3 totally different parts of your brain.
They are. And so, like, not only did I have to learn how to be a singer, I had to learn how to be an entertainer.
Yeah.
And like, man, being an entertainer is such a different thing. You know how it is, man. I've seen you play. Every show gets...
5 in a row is hard.
It's no joke, man.
5 in a row
but
is
like
hard.
Every show, they get 110.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Always. So like, to be able to, with our new standard and our show and all this stuff, to be able to do 5 in a row to give these people what they need, okay, it's not just I need to be a good singer anymore. It's like, you got to be in good fucking shape. You got to be training. You got to be strategic about your
the only
day,
thing that
about
will save your career is you have to realize that your body is your tempo,
That's
especially
it.
if you're a singer.
That is it. The #1 priority is the show.
Yeah.
Period. Always respect that. It is sacred. It is important. People have paid good, hard-earned money. You've put in work. The band's put in work. The crew's put in work. So just focus around it. Like,
there is a mechanism that happens that you learn over time. And you kind of learn, like, as the longer you do it, that there are those moments where you can be tired. You could be dealing with a bacterial infection. It could be viral. You don't necessarily know. And you wake up and, when it first starts happening and you're touring, you're thinking to yourself, I'm screwed. But you learn over time, at 2 in the afternoon, you're not going on till 9 or you're not going on till 8, that kind of type of thing. Like, there's an interesting thing that happens. Your body knows to switch.
Straight up,
like,
dude.
And then all of a sudden, that's why we say adrenaline is your friend. And your body actually makes it
Yeah.
because it knows that you need it.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's so difficult, like especially when you're out on a really high profile tour, it's hard to come down off of that hour and a half, 2 hours that you're up
Oh
on
my
the stage.
God.
Like it takes
Yeah.
a good 4 to 5 hours. So like by the time 2 o'clock in the morning rolls around, you're just in a place where you can kind of go to sleep and then come back. But the point being is that it is interesting. The voice will, in the beginning when it happens and you're like, I can't talk, I don't have anything, I can't do any warm-ups, it's like, calm down.
Yeah.
Let your body will do what it needs to do. Like believe in your body.
Yes. Not a single good thing will come from freaking out if your voice is gone in the morning.
Yeah.
Just believe that, well, it's just the morning. You just beat the hell out of it for 90 minutes the
Yeah.
night before. Give yourself some time for
Yeah.
it to recoup, and then we'll get back into it.
I had to learn, like, I got to be done with, when I'm on tour, I wake up, I only do 2 cups of coffee, usually 16 ounces, 2 of those. That has to be done and over with by 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
Then it's on tour, it's nothing but coffee and water.
Yeah.
I will very rarely ever drink any soda, any juice, anything else. Even like I won't even drink a lot of carbonation. It works best for me. People sometimes say that there's a myth behind like dairy and cheese and things like that. I'm kind of the guy that's like everything in moderation. But yeah, man, the cleaner you eat, the better it's going to help you, definitely hit the high notes.
It's just so freeing, being able to trust my work, being able to trust the fact that it's like, dude, you've done this. Like, you have fronted a lot of shows.
Yeah.
You've been working really hard on getting in shape, on getting your lungs in shape, on getting your voice in shape.
Yeah.
Like, you're growing, and like, be okay with that. Just embrace it and trust it. And like, nothing good will come from freaking out.
What I learned from some other people before me was that the set list is imperative to the singer. And so me and Zach, to his credit, he understands, he's a big part of the production and how we put these songs in place and like where certain songs go. And you have, your sing-alongs, and then you have what's the new song in the repertoire, and how do you, are you going to flip these 4 songs where normally it's here or it's there, you spread them out. Well, we've been doing the same set list, or these 3 songs have kind of been in this place forever. Should we move them to the front? Should we move them to the end? Should we take them out? Should we do a B-side? Should we do a deep cut? I think what you have to figure out is, what helped me was, if I can do the first 3 songs in the set list, also be my warm-up to the rest of the show.
Yeah. No matter who you are touring with, be unapologetically your fucking band.
Oh,
period.
Without question.
Another thing that I absolutely ride by, and that I think people miss a lot in this industry, is the intelligence of the fucking listener and of the fan. It's
100%.
like, they see right through your bullshit.
Yep.
Every single time. That is why so many of those,
And they also grab onto your authenticity.
Yes.
If the audience isn't willing to grow with you, then you will hope that even if like you make a record that maybe your hardcore fan base didn't necessarily understand, the ones that stick with you by that though too, because they can see like, I know why they made this record. I still know they're being genuine. They're trying to broaden the reach, and they're trying to broaden the audience.
Yes.
We've been very, very fortunate that I can say nothing is 100%, but our audience, whether they've been there from the beginning or they're just kind of finding out who we are now, is we're very, very upfront about, we're unapologetically who we are. Every record, we're not trying to make the same record over and over again, and we're doing our best to not write the same album twice. Okay. But the one thing that I can be very, very bold about those 33 singles is that wherever I was, being one of the main lyricists in the band, wherever I was, I know that's 100%, that's how I felt at that time when I wrote that song. It's the reason why I'm able to go back and, like, if I take a song like 45 that was like off of the debut album, I've sung that song I don't even know how many times. And sometimes there's people that have this idea like, I can't play this song anymore. Like, I'm done with it. It's like, it doesn't belong to you. The moment you gave it to the world, it belongs to them. So you got to think about the person that's in that audience. that's never seen you, that's waited 20 years to see you and waited for you to sing that song.
I could not agree more, man. It literally was a life-altering experience, you know, and emotionally, I felt it, and I was able to let these things out. And to me, it means absolutely nothing. It means I can't relate to what it means to me to anybody else in the room or anybody on that stage.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't know what was going on in my life when I first heard that song or what weird relational thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's all these deep attachments.
Yeah.
And so, like, to be able to just provide that for people, that is an honor. To be able to just sit down with you and like this be how we get to break bread is like
man.
fucking
We
kicking
wanted to
it.
do
I, like,
I was like, how do I
literally
do this?
the coolest room ever, and like so much history and
Yeah.
yeah.
The soundboard alone.
Yeah, dude.
If you weren't here in the beginning, we're at Henson Studios in Studio A.
Yeah.
Which is where they did We Are the World and countless other records.
Yeah, this is
So I thought to myself,
lot of magic.
I was like, do we film it on top of a mountain?
yeah, dude.
Or do we come to an iconic studio
Yeah.
like Henson Studios to just get to know each other?
Dude,
So-
this is just what it is all about.
Yeah, man.
This is like, to me, what makes life exciting. And thank you for this gift, dude.
Absolutely,
like,
man.
truly.
Thanks for
thank you
coming out
this
on the
gift.
tour.
You're fucking kidding me.
We're going to have a blast.